Grizzly Adam says, Morj, if, God forbid, this is the end, will you give us a bullet point version of the Momo theory you talked about last stream? Yeah, I definitely will. Just remind me later. That's one of my favorite secret theories, but it's too crazy to talk about. I think it gained a lot of weight in my head personally when I saw what Oda did with Momo last chapter. Because here's what Oda did with Momo last chapter. So, like, I don't know, like 80 fucking chapters of build up to Momonosuke potentially holding up Onigashima, right? Ever since Onigashima was in the air, we get this sort of, these little hints to Momonosuke potentially holding it up, right? And keep in mind, Momonosuke is the only, let's keep this very, very clear, in all of Wano, in the cast of 40 plus, maybe 50 characters, right? There's only one singular character that had a solid character arc developing from start to finish. Only one character arc out of all these characters. Everything else just some weird noise, some character moments here or there, some random stuff, but for the most part, you get one character arc. It's just Momonosuke. And it all seems leading up and shaping up to potentially a really, really good moment of Momonosuke holding up Onigashima, much like his father did, above the people of Wano and basically recreating his father's feat and saving all of Wano, right? Endearing himself to the people of Wano, Kazuki clan return, blah, 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 blah. He'll even look like his dad when he's doing it, potentially, because apparently grown-up Momonosuke looks like Oden, okay? All of it also leading up to him overcoming certain things like fear of heights. He'd already kind of gotten past that, but he had like bravery, leadership. What a show of leadership this would be to the people of Wano if they were able to witness him doing this, right? What could he do? How could he inspire people if he holds up Onigashima above Wano? Obviously, it would be a very brave moment, etc. What did it all lead up to? The one character arc in all of Wano. What did it lead up to? Momonosuke yells, "Flame clouds!" Yes. It's literally just, it's like, I can't do it. Oh, Momo, you have to do it. I have to do it. Flame clouds appear. I think that's literally what he says. I don't know what he says in the Viz. Maybe he says something really amazing and eloquent in the Viz. Maybe I've totally missed out on the beautiful, beautiful writing of Stephen Paul. Let's see what he says in the Viz. Let's see what Momonosuke says in the Viz. Because as far as I know with TCB, he just said, "Flame clouds appear." In Viz, he says, "Come forth, flame clouds." Is that slightly better? I don't... So he says, yells, "Come forth, flame clouds." Keep in mind, the panels of Momonosuke before this are basically comedic panels. It's like his eyes popping out of his sockets, not a particularly serious face or anything like that. This isn't exactly Luffy and Usopp talking to each other. Chapter 427, it's not like it's hell here. It's not exactly that sort of a tone. This is more of a bit of a gag sort of situation. Momonosuke's eyes are popping out of his sockets. He yells, "Come forth, flame clouds appear." He's got a funny, goofy expression with snot coming out of his nose as the flame clouds do in fact appear. Then you get a tiny little panel if you squint. If it looks like him moving Onigashima out of the way, I think that's what that is. It looks like he's moving Onigashima out of the way. Don't want to spend too much time focusing on the climactic moment of the single character arc in this entire 140 chapter long story, right? Don't want to spend too much time focusing on that. Best shove that off to the side. It's down there in the bottom right. If you get a magnifying glass out, you can kind of see it. Momonosuke, little tiny little sketch of him moving Onigashima out of the way. And then that's kind of just it. Then we kind of just cut to, oh, he set Onigashima down on the ground at some point when no one really noticed. It's kind of just, you don't even need to see it really happen. It's just, we cut to Onigashima was set down on the ground. Momonosuke kind of just wilts to the ground. Kind of like, you know, he's kind of just ran a, I don't know, like a 5-mile, like a 5K or something like that. He's kind of tired at the end. He needs a glass of water. He just kind of slumps over onto the ground. He's got kind of a goofy, sleepy face, and it seems like he's just snoring away. And that would, in theory, be the end of Momonosuke. In theory. I don't believe that that is the case. Because I do believe, despite everything that I just said, I do believe that Oda really cares about his characters, and I believe that he really, really, really cares about Momonosuke, because Oda put so much time into Momonosuke. I do not believe that that is all that is in store for Momonosuke. The theory that I have on Momonosuke, I will share if the raid doesn't succeed, blah, blah, or doesn't fail, etc. Basically, I'll share what I had. I'll probably do it in bullet points, basically a bullet point version of it, because there's no point elaborating on a long theory on something that's never going to happen. But I do think that there's certain things set up for Momonosuke to have some really, really, really good moments. A really, really good moment. Keep in mind, certain things have not happened for Momonosuke yet. We have not seen his human form. He's not gotten Hame no Habakiri, things like that. I think there's good things in store for Momonosuke. Anime Dimension says Kaido falling is parallel to Orochi, where Fire Lantern is going up, but I believe Kaido is not defeated yet. Then does that mean Orochi is also not defeated? I mean, I'm like defeated. It's like Orochi's dead, and we know how One Piece deaths are. You got to check that pulse like 10, 12 times before you're like, yeah, they're actually done for. So I don't think, especially kind of the casual manner in which it was done, just the nature of the fruit Orochi has, I don't know if it's actually dead. Plus, just the cycle of death and awakening, reawakening, and stuff that we kind of been going through recently.